Dion, you said that's what?
Just giving some support for his breathing.
Is that oxygen that he needs?
Yeah, there's some oxygen and pressure. Hi guys, so I know it's been a while, but having a newborn, I guess I forgot how crazy it is, but I've been trying to get adjusted to Dion and, making sure that I am not so sleep deprived where I'm just talking in circles on this video. So he is currently 5 weeks now, and I think I finally got a routine down where I was good enough to come up here and make a video. So I'm gonna hopefully be more consistent. But in this video, I'm gonna be giving my labor and delivery story. Now, we did get some clips, and I was hoping to get more clips than we actually did, but I had an emergency C-section, so shit got real quick, and the filming didn't go as planned. So throughout the video, I'm going to be popping in just to explain a little bit, because we got some clips, but some of it might not make any sense without context. So that's what I will be popping in to let you in on a couple of things. So yeah, so if you are interested in seeing our crazy journey, because it was totally different from when I was pregnant with DJ. With DJ, like literally, I went in, they gave me some meds through the IV. I think I got an epidural, which during this time I was having contractions, but it wasn't bad. Just like with Dion this time, the starting contractions are never bad for me. But going back to DJ, I was having contractions, went in, got an epidural. They put me in the labor room. They gave me some medicine. I was knocked out. We got there maybe around 10. And I think I woke up around maybe 5, I think. Like, I was asleep the whole time. Like, by the time I woke up, it was time to push. So push didn't have any problems. DJ is here. Dion, on the other hand, this shit was crazy, okay? So if you are interested in seeing the story, please stay tuned. Hey guys, so I thought I'd start vlogging just because I've been up since 3. It's currently almost 9, I think. And I've been having contractions, but they haven't been really bad contractions. I have can't even talk. I have a doctor's appointment today at 10. So I just decided, I've been using like the little contractions app, and it's been told me to go to the hospital, but that happened with DJ and they sent me home. So I just decided to wait till my doctor's appointment. But we're getting ready to get dressed to go there, and I'll let you know what they say. Okay, y'all, so it's later from when I talked to y'all earlier. I think it's like 4 o'clock or something. So in those clips, you see me having all the contractions, and I think I could have went to the hospital then, because like looking back, like knowing what you know now, looking back, I think I could have went to the hospital and I think they would have kept me. The only reason I didn't go, like I said in the video or in the clip before, this happened with DJ. I felt like I was having contractions and they sent me home, but it was a little different from DJ, and I think they would have kept me, but I was just trying to be on the safe side. I didn't want to go too early, and that feeling of being sent home is not a good feeling, so I just did not want to go through that. So I tried to stick it out as much as I could, and like I also said in the video, I had an appointment that day, so I was like, let me just see what he says in the appointment. Now mind you, I went to the appointment and he did say he sees him coming either today or tomorrow, but he didn't send me to the hospital just then because my contractions were not consistent. But also he said that Dion was way too high. Now I'm going to give you this little sneak peek into the labor story. Dion was high not because he wasn't coming down, because once I had my C-section, once they got him out, my doctor let me know that I would have had a C-section regardless aside from all the complications that we were having that I'll explain a little bit later, I would have still had a C-section because he was not coming down the birth canal correctly. His positioning, his head wasn't fitting. So that's why he was up there so high. So they would have had to go get him anyway. So I think a C-section was just in the cards for me this go around. But that's not why we had a C-section. He just found that out once he cut me open and saw his positioning inside of me, that he was not going down the birth canal correctly, and that's why he was so high, and that was the reason he wasn't really ready to send me to the hospital, because he felt like he was too high. Okay, so as you can see, we're still having contractions. But what was I finna say? So I've been up. Well, I haven't been up. Well, okay, let me start over. I woke up at 3, like in the middle, like 3 in the morning, because I started feeling like some kind of contractions, but they weren't bad at all. They did wake me up out of my sleep, but I'm a light sleeper anyway, but the pain wasn't bad at all. So I kind of monitored them. I'm sorry, I look crazy, y'all. I monitored them for a little bit, and then I started tracking them at 4 a.m. On the little contraction app. So I did that for maybe 30 minutes, and it gave me an alert that I'll probably pop up on the screen, and it said just like get ready, like take a shower, get up, like get anything you need to get before it's time to go to the hospital. So at that time I woke Devin up to show him the screen. He read it and he jumped up and started getting stuff together. He jumped up so fast, I was gonna tell him I'm like, don't worry about getting ready, because this kind of happened with DJ, where I was having contractions. We went to the hospital and they sent me home. And then the actual day we delivered DJ, it happened again. And I really feel like the only reason they kept us that day was because my blood pressure was high. And they were getting ready to induce me the next day anyway. So they just kept me. But I don't feel like my contractions I don't feel I think I was saying I don't feel like my contractions were, I don't know, but what was I? I think I was saying about how when I woke Devin up, I was telling him don't really worry about I wanted to tell him don't worry about getting ready, because I knew it wasn't really time yet, even though the app was telling me to get ready. Just from previous experience with labor with DJ, I knew the hospital wasn't going to keep me. And on top of that, I knew I had a doctor's appointment at 10 o'clock. So I was just trying to make it to the doctor's appointment. And then my contractions were, they were ranging from like, some would be 6 minutes apart, and then it would go to like 10 minutes. Like, it was not consistent at all. So I just knew it wasn't time, even though the app was telling me prepare myself. But I think around 5, we just kept tracking it. 5 in the morning is when the app told us go to the hospital. And again, I wasn't going to the hospital because I knew I was going to get turned around. And again, I had my doctor's appointment at 10. So we just continued to I couldn't really go back to sleep. I was up by then. Got ready for the not for the hospital, for my doctor's appointment. Went to my doctor's appointment. He checked me. He still says the baby is high. I'm still only 1 centimeter dilated, but I am feeling contractions. I did tell him I was feeling contractions, and he said that don't go to the hospital until my contractions are 5 minutes apart for 2 hours. But he feels like we're going to have the baby today. I hope we have the baby today because I'm so tired, y'all. But that's just me keeping y'all updated. Okay, guys, so we made it to the hospital around, I think I've been here for an hour. So we got here maybe a little over an hour, like 5:45-ish. Contractions are definitely horrible, and I can't get any pain meds until the baby's heart rate goes up a little bit. So I'm just in here trying to thug it out. But I will definitely keep you guys posted. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the labor story before I show you any more clips. So like you saw in the previous videos, I started having contractions the day before. Went to my doctor's appointment. He said it could be any minute now, but he wasn't ready to send me yet. The baby was too high. So he sent me home. So I thugged out them contractions all day, even though, like I said, I should have went to the hospital. But the contractions were starting getting even worse and worse and worse. And then that night, so the next day, but it was like 3 a.m. and it always happened at 3 a.m. I don't know why, but every day, 3 a.m. the contractions would be like, I would feel like I needed to go to the hospital. But so on July 20th at 3 a.m. contractions started again, and I just knew like it's time to go. We gotta go. So I still waited a little bit longer just to make sure. But I don't think we went to the hospital. I know I put it in a video, but I don't think we made it to the hospital until like 7, I think. But we got to the hospital at 7. They checked me in. They told me they were going to keep me. But like I told you with DJ, I was looking for the meds. Like as soon as I got into the hospital with DJ, they gave me meds for the pain for the contractions. But this go around, they were not giving me any medication because they said that the baby's heart rate was very low. Every time I would get a contraction, his heart rate would drop. So they were monitoring that, hoping that it would get better before they gave me any medicine, because apparently the medicine, it did something to where it wouldn't be good for the baby if his heart rate was low. So I had to stick that through. Finally, his heart rate started to get a little bit better, but it took a while. I want to say maybe, I don't even know what time we went upstairs. But I would probably say a good maybe 2 hours before they gave me some medication for the contractions. So they finally gave me some medication. In that time, Devin and I are just sitting in there. They gave me a COVID test. They ran some other tests on me, but I'm just sitting there just trying to make it through. Finally, they gave me the medication, and this time they didn't move me to the labor room yet. So we were still like in the ER, the maternity ER section. But by the time they gave me the medication, like right before they moved me, they gave me the medication. We went to the room. They were still monitoring the baby's heart rate because it was still low. Like every time I had a contraction, his heart rate would drop. And they kept saying, like my doctor wasn't there yet, because of course my doctor, he has 2 locations, and he has a Houston location, he has a Kingwood location. Of course he was in the Kingwood location the day that I went into the hospital. So it was taking him a while to get there, but he was on his way to me. But in the meantime, they had the doctor on call in the hospital, monitoring me and checking on me, and she kept saying we may have to have a C-section. And this is why we don't have any footage, because I was devastated. That was like some people say like it could never happen to me. I don't know why in my mind I felt like a C-section would never happen to me, even though I was a C-section baby. My mama had to have a C-section with me, but I don't know why that was in my brain. That was never in the cards for me. But she kept saying that, and I kept getting annoyed, like, oh my gosh, please, no, I do not want to have a C-section. No, like, things could go wrong. I don't want to have major surgery. No, 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 no. Like, and so I started to try to, like, improve, like, because the contractions were so bad, and they were going back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Like, it was not a minute apart. It felt like it was seconds apart every time I would have a contraction, and his heart rate was just dropping every single time. But I started to try to, like, improve my breathing to try to see if that would help his heart rate. But no, I just remember one time it was like the doctor that was on call, maybe like 5 nurses in there. My mom was in there and Devin was in there, and they were just staring at the screen, looking at my contractions and looking at the baby's heart rate. And I just saw everybody's faces, and it just did not look good. And one time, because I was looking at Devin, I guess the heart rate was better, and his face lit up like, okay, you know, maybe we won't have a C-section. But it happened again. The doctor on call was like, no, we can't keep doing this. We got to take her. So they started feeding me so many different medications. They put like something behind my ear. They started putting things in my IV. I think they gave me a pill. It was just like so much going on at one time. And like it put me kind of in a panic because, like I said, it was a ton of nurses in there. They all start moving so quick. It was like so quick. Like what you see in the movies is like literally what I feel like I was experiencing. They started like putting things on me. They started like disconnecting things so that they could move the bed. And so once they started moving me to the OR, they took Devin to like prep and put like the gown on or whatever. So he went in a different direction, and then they took me into the operating room where my doctor was still not here yet. They kept calling him, and thank God the nurse in there kept calling him like every 5 minutes, and he kept saying he's almost there, he's almost there, he's almost there. They were getting ready to have another doctor operate on me, but luckily my doctor came in on time. Here's another thing. Because I feel like they fed me so much medication, I don't already do good with medication. Like, I can't even take vitamins. Vitamins make me sick. But because they fed me so much medication at one time, as soon as they pushed me into the operating room, I felt myself getting ready to throw up. So I told them, I think that it was the anesthesiologist that was next to me. I told her, like, I'm finna throw up. And they had me laying back, and I couldn't get up. So she brought me like a little barf bag and put it on the side of my face, and I'm literally throwing up. And like, it's just, I know nothing was going in that bag. I know it wasn't. But she was trying her best to catch everything because the throw up was just sliding out of the side of my mouth. And I think it was so much going everywhere. She moved it away, and I told her, I said, I'm not done yet. So she brought me a different bag, and it was just a lot. And I'm in there by myself. Then finally my doctor comes in, and they were like, okay, we're ready to cut her open. And I'm like, no, y'all not. Where's my husband? Like, I'm not doing this without him. And so Alexa's like, okay. So she runs out of the operating room. And then like maybe 2 minutes later, she runs back in and was like, he's not ready. And I'm like, what you mean he's not ready? And then I'm like, I'm not doing this without him. And then like, before I felt myself getting ready to have like a breakdown attitude going off on everybody was finna get it. But before I felt myself getting ready to go off, here comes Devin. He busts inside the room. They're helping him put on. He didn't even have the regular scrubs on that they give the fathers. He had, I don't know what they put him in, but they quickly put him on something, and then they put him next to me. And yes, so here's gonna be, put some more clips in here. Devin did a really good job. Now I don't know if he was supposed to be filming. They didn't tell, because everything was so quick, they didn't get a chance to tell him that he couldn't film in there. But he did a really good job of getting some things while we were in there. So here's some clips of that.
One person. There we go. Four gases. Another one. The baby boy. Yes, thank God. I'm gonna go. You okay?
Oh, and then so it was like while we were in there, you know they have the big like sheet covering so you can't see. But Devin, he was sitting. I think he was sitting down at one point, but then somehow he stood up, and he was getting everything, checking everything out, and I saw his face. And his face, I can't even describe what his face looked like, but it looked like something was wrong. But I knew that the baby wasn't out yet, so I knew at this time he couldn't see the baby. So I was trying to figure out like what was wrong with him. So I kept like tugging on him, and I was like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" And he wasn't saying anything. And then like I kept hitting him like, "Are you okay?" And like he wasn't saying anything while we were in there, but after labor I was asking him like what was going on, what was going through your head. And Devin, he did not know that when you have a C-section they do not put you to sleep. So in his mind he was like, oh my gosh, my wife is on this table, she's trying to have a full conversation with me, and I'm looking at her stomach get cut open. So he was trying to process all that, and it was so funny after he told me what he was going through, because in the operating room I was like, what is wrong with you? But after he explained it, it was so funny. Of like, I can only imagine what his mind was processing, seeing his wife get cut open. But yes.
You got a thumbs up? You good?
What do you want?
Monaco.
We'll get it. Monaco. Number 1 CTX. 1 CTX?
Yes.
Monochrome?
Yes. Perfect.
So now you see the clip where baby Dion is out and he's not breathing. The husband that I have always wants me to be okay. He never wants me to. He knows that I worry a lot. So he tries. Sometimes I want to say sugarcoat. Yeah, he sugarcoats stuff to make me okay. So when the baby came out, we didn't hear him crying, and I was asking him if he's okay. And of course he's telling me everything's fine, knowing that he's looking at our baby like not okay. But he's trying to make me be in good spirits, so he's telling me everything is okay. Not telling me, like, there's a clip, I don't know if I showed it yet or I'm getting ready to show it, but there's a clip they had to put an oxygen mask on Dion, and he didn't tell me any of that until after. And then he came to me and was like, babe, I know I didn't want to tell you while we were in there, but they had to put an oxygen mask on Dion. And then he showed me the clips or the video, and he did the right thing for me, because I would have lost it. If he would have told me that our baby's not breathing, they're having to put an oxygen mask on him, I would have lost it in there. So I'm glad he did not tell me that at the time. I'm glad he waited till after we were in the recovery room and everything literally was okay. But you see in the clip, like when they beat on Dion's chest and he finally takes a breath of air, you can hear Devin said, thank God. And I know seeing that was a lot for him. And I just want to say, baby, you're so strong and I love you. Because I don't know what I would have did if it would have been the opposite. If he was on the table and I'm looking at our baby not breathing, like, I don't know what I would do.
Dion, your dad is here, big boy. We with you, man. So glad you're here. Little man, you don't know how long we've been waiting for you.
Don't take it personal, baby. Personal, baby. Don't take it personal.
Dion. What's up, my boy? You see me? You hear me? I know you know this voice. It's your dad, man. What's up? You were acting up in mommy's stomach. They had to go in there and cut you out of there, my boy.
Give me a paper towel. Give me another volume. Give me another hour or two.
Vital signs are looking good.
Why you bother me when you know you don't want me? Why you bother me when you know you got a woman? Why you hit me when you know better? You know better.
In the
Know
recovery
you
room,
grew better.
waiting for him to wheel your mom back so she can recover.
Long as we got love, long as we've got
Recovery room vibes. Babe good. Baby good. We all good.
So yes, we have our beautiful baby boy. He was born July 20th, 2022. He was 7 pounds on the dot, 19 inches. And we are so blessed to have him, my little rainbow baby. I will be doing a 1 month update, so look out for that a little bit later. And I also want to do like a question and answer with Devin. So if you have any questions for us as far as our labor and delivery, our our first month with him, how it is to be a parent, any kind of questions that you think you have for Devin and I, we would love to answer them in another video. So yes, as always, and until next time, it's him and I, Aquim and I. Bye y'all.